Can you state your name, please?
My name is Javante Stevens.
And where do you work?
I work for Jefferson County,
How long have you worked for them?
12 years.
What do you do for
I'm a correctional officer.
them? You always been a correctional officer with Jefferson County and since you've been with them?
For the most part.
For the most part, what else do you do with them?
I have been a deputy in 2015.
Okay. Back on June 6th of 2023, were you a deputy with the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office?
I was in corrections.
Yes, okay. I'm sorry. We're corrections officer with corrections. Thanks for correcting me. You're jailer back then, is that correct?
Yes.
And how long have you been a jailer about when this happened?
About 9 years old.
Okay. In dealing with inmates, are some easier to deal with than others?
Definitely.
And are some more compliant than others?
Definitely.
How would you rank Raymond Peoples for the times that you had to deal with them?
But as far as complying, not always complying by no means.
Okay. So this day, why were you called over to the cell number 6, the isolation cell?
Lieutenant Ford had advised me that he needed help to persuade Mr. Peoples to move cells.
And did you in fact go over there to try to help persuade him?
Yes.
Did it look like you were going to be able to persuade him to do anything?
Not at all.
What was the posture you could see when you were talking to him? What was he doing?
Very frantic, very irate, very mad.
Did he say anything about what he was going to do if people came into his cell?
Yeah, he kept saying that he was gonna kill Ford, he wanted to kill Lieutenant Ford for some reason.
Had you known him to have that personal thing against Ford before?
Yes, he had said it before.
Well, let's talk. When you get an order to go move somebody from one cell to another, is it usually a big ordeal?
No, not only.
Whenever you go and tell somebody you're moving, is there usually a good reason you're moving?
Yes.
And in this case, Lieutenant Ford said they were doing maintenance on the cell because they had to do some security stuff on it. Is that correct?
I don't believe so.
And when you went there, what were you trying to tell Mr. Peoples?
That we were just wanting to move him from one cell to the other so that we could operate on the cell that he was in. He kept complaining that the cell was dirty, and we, confirmed that it was not, that it had been cleaned since the last guy left.
So you can confirm that, is that right?
Yes.
And when y'all went down there later on, when you took him down to the cell, was it clean?
Yes.
So was there any reason for him not to want to go down to that cell?
No.
Had you known him to not want to do things before and just be stubborn about it?
Yes.
Have you ever had to use any physical force against him to do things before that?
I do believe, I can't remember exactly for the reason, but yeah, definitely been some altercation.
So that day you go show up and try to help out. How many people tried to talk Raymond Peoples out of coming out of that cell?
Probably about 4 at least.
Let me put it up here on Safety Exhibit 1. So the jury will know where you were, okay? Who's this at the cell right now?
That's Officer Dorothy.
Who's that?
That's me.
So are you listening to Darby kind of try to talk him out?
Yeah,
And in a minute, do you kind of take over and start having
Yeah.
conversations?
yeah, I definitely intervened to try to get him to calm down. I tend to have a decent rapport with him most times when he's in the cell. So I figured I could probably talk him into it, but he wasn't having it that day.
Did you see the stuff he had wrapped around his hands at that point?
I don't recall if I seen it at that time.
Did you see it later?
I definitely seen it later.
Okay. Did you also see some things in his hand?
Yes, he had hands strapped to his hand with some type of cloth.
Now let's see, when y'all get him out of the cell in a minute, I want to get there. He comes out. Is this you here?
Yes,
Okay. So this is you back here, back behind Darby?
yes.
Now it looks like when you get on the ground down there, are you behind him, holding on to him? Trying to restrain him?
Yeah, I think I'm like closer to the ground, like almost like kneeling.
So your point of view is down here on that side, right? Which side are you on?
My back is like closer to the door, like against the door.
Okay. And so is there a lot going on at that time?
Definitely.
Did you ever see Mr. Peoples with bandages with pins on his hand?
Yeah, I seen it immediately. When I first came out of the cell, first thing he did was raise his hands up, and I seen him, which is why I grabbed him and tried to get him to the ground as quickly as I could.
Kind of took a little bit to get him down.
Definitely, because he tried to get back up. He was very resilient.
And when y'all got him on the ground, was he still struggling to get back up?
Yes.
He still had his hands free moving around?
Yes, his hands were still strong.
Did it take you a while to kind of get him under control?
Definitely.
Did you see him striking at anybody or doing anything while he was on the ground?
I've just seen a lot of flailing, not really necessarily seeing him strike anybody, not sure, because I was kind of behind him, like my head was like kind of close to his at one point, so wasn't really sure he was going, but I was trying to get him to stop. Okay.
So once y'all get him subdued, did y'all take the pins away from him? Or do you remember?
I remember it being a struggle. I remember we got his hands restrained first, to have better control of his hands. But I remember people struggling to get him off because they were tied so tightly.
Okay, so he's got his cuffs. They put the cuffs not behind him at first, right? Y'all didn't put the cuffs behind him. The cuffs were in front.
Yeah,
And
his
then-
hands hit the
Did
ground.
he still have the stuff and he had the pins?
Definitely.
Okay, y'all were still trying to get those away from him. So after you get him down and you've got the restraints on him and everybody's still holding him, did you finally get the pins away from him?
I'm not sure if we got him away from him immediately because, like I said, it was a struggle.
There's a lot going on there. wasn't there?
Definitely, it's a lot of chaos.
And that person you saw that night, do you see him in the courtroom today? Oh, that
Yes.
day, you see him in the courtroom today.
Yeah,
And can you point to and describe something he's wearing?
had on a black collar shirt.
record reflect he's identified the defendant?
Yes, it will.
Now, the person that you saw that day doing all this, he didn't look like the calm man sitting here, did he?
No,
What about the state's exhibit A? Did he look more like that?
definitely.
That's the person that y'all were dealing with, wasn't it, that day? After you get him up out of this, where did y'all take him?
We took him to the cell that we were trying to originally get him to go to, which was isolation cell one.
So get him down to the end, get him into the cell. What happened when he's in the cell?
We were trying to get him to calm down. We were trying to get him to lay flat so that we could take the restraints off of him. He kept frantically like yelling at first, and then eventually, once he was no longer like so winded, it began to escalate back into an altercation.
So what did y'all have to do eventually?
We ended up having to put him in. I believe we put him in a rehab.
Okay. When did you see the injuries on Lieutenant Ford?
Yeah.
When did you first notice them?
After we had gotten him into the route, I seen his face, and he was bleeding my
States 15?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, all you saw, you were behind him and you saw the flailing, but you didn't see him strike anyone directly. You couldn't see it.
No, I couldn't tell who he had been striking. It was chaotic.
Was he yelling anything while he was struggling?
He was definitely yelling, and he was gonna feel forward.
Okay. Thank you. I'll pass it.
Afternoon, Mr. Stevens. So I heard you tell Mr. Laird that on normally you have a good rapport with me, so you came to the cell to try to calm him down, right? Normally. So would you agree that on a regular basis, outside of this situation, I am not frantic, irate, and chaotic?
I mean, I see you calm more than I see you frantic.
Is it the camera that they took the pictures of? Is it routine that they when y'all come to take a person out they cell like that or whatnot? Is it routine that y'all grab the camera and record back then before they got the cameras on the? Because now they wear the cameras on the lieutenants wear the cameras on their shirt, right? But before then they didn't have the cameras on the shirt, right?
No.
Y'all use the cameras, the handheld cameras. Was it normal when you have to go in a person's cell that's acting irate that you have the camera for insurance and they record?
I don't remember when they started doing like the cat, like making sure that every time, like if we think that there's going to be an incident, that we bring the cameras. But at some point, yeah, it was definitely they tried to make that routine to bring the camera out there to record.
Is it a reason you would assume that they would take a bunch of pictures of isolation cell 6, but no pictures of isolation cell 1, with me having a problem with that cell being dirty? Do you know the reason why they would not take pictures of isolation cell 1?
I'm not sure.
How did they confirm that cell was clean?
We all had looked in isolation cell 1, and then once we put you in the cell 2, pretty sure you and everybody else confirmed those things.
Now, when you walk up that hall on a regular basis, do you normally smell urine and feces? Being that it's normally mentally ill inmates back there.
Pretty much throughout all of them were going, it smells like urine and feces.
So the fact that you smell that all the time, it's hard to tell where it's coming from, right?
Yeah.
So when you went in isolation cell 1, did you smell anything out of ordinary? Because you were used to that type of smell, right?
Maybe I assume that I guess.
Yeah. So did you look around the walls and check the floors and all that while you was in there? Or was you too focused on me,
We had to be prior.
right? Like you checked yourself before you put me in?
Prior to moving you in there, when you said it was, you told me that, oh, I don't wanna go in there because it's dirty. When I got urine feces, I went and looked and.
Ram, complete your answer.
Yes.
You went to look and
Oh, I went to look and noticed that there was no urine or feces anywhere.
Yeah. So if give it back just like a little bit. So was this before you talked to me or after you talked to me?
I'm pretty sure it was after I talked to you.
After you talked to me. Boom. Okay. Do you remember the first time? The first time when you walked in and talked to me, do you remember? Is that the moment you first walking in, you coming in? You remember?
I'm guessing so. I don't remember. But that was the first time I walked in.
Just to make sure when I put go all the way back here. Boom. I'm gonna start from there. Synagogue. 24 in synagogue was the first people that talked to me.
hold on. But once again, you're testifying and you have to ask him a question. You just made a statement and you're not under oath, and the court is going to instruct the jury until a witness is under oath, their statements are not to be considered as evidence. He has an opportunity to give a full statement when the time is right. But questions to the witnesses are not testimony. It's the answers that they give. So be careful about how you word. Don't make statements, but ask the questions. Yes, sir. Thank you.
We can agree that I didn't check it after I spoke with you.
Check it out that you spoke to me. No, you said so earlier. Would you say that you checked the cell before you spoke with me?
I said, I believe I checked it out.
Okay. Can we now agree that you didn't?
I just said we can agree that I did not check it after I spoke with you.
Okay, yeah, okay, sorry, my mistake. So would this have been an easy fix to just go get the trustee to clean it out?
The trustee had already cleaned it out.
When?
I can't remember.
So if I felt different, right? And all I wanted was to clean it out. Wouldn't it have been easier to just call him back to clean it out so we could have skipped around all of this?
Do you know the answer to that? Can you answer that?
I say, would it have been easier to just call the trustee back so we could have avoided this? Do you think it would have been easier?
Well, I actually have I have no idea because you didn't seem like you want to move. Period.
Why not?
You said you didn't trust forward.
Did you testify earlier that I had a problem with moving because that cell was real nasty?
That's one of the things you also said.
And do you remember me asking me that? Can you just tell him to have the trustee go clean the cell out? You know, so if I felt the cell was nasty and that's why I didn't want to move, would it have been easier to just call the trustee back to clean it out?
Again, I have no idea.
No further questions.
Who's in charge of the jail? Is it the jailers or is it the inmates?
The judge.
So when an inmate is asked to move somewhere, is there really much choice for him to do that, not to move? And whenever y'all told him he's going to move, should he just stuck his hands through, been cuffed and walked down and then talked about cleaning the cell down there?
Yes.
Now, when you got there, did he already have his hands wrapped and ready to go, or could you remember?
I can't remember the better.
He doesn't get to dictate everything, does he? No. What happens if you start letting the inmates dictate how everything goes in that jail?
Wouldn't run properly.
So whenever you're asked, and people asked him nicely, didn't they? Numerous times, didn't they? And one person, even Darby, even if you don't show on here, but you know you looked at the cell before, but Darby went down and looked in. Yes. And he came back and there was nothing wrong, right? Yes. So why is it if y'all have done everything you can, looking at the cell, it's been cleaned and he doesn't want to go, why should he get to dictate this? Should he?
Sure.
How do you deal with inmates that don't obey the rules there?
Normally it was through disciplinary action.
Just like outside the jail, right? If somebody violates a rule, they have to get disciplined, don't they?
Yes.
And if they violate a rule here and they won't do what you ask them to do, then you have to escalate a little bit, don't you? Try to get them to come down to the cell, right?
Yes.
And did y'all do that?
Yes.
And then you stepped up again. There was the pepper balls, right?
Yes.
And then you stepped up again and you had to go get him out.
Yes.
And all this time, all over whether he thought it was a dirty cell or not. Am I right?
Yes.
Do you really think that was the issue?
No.
Is he more about control than most of the times when he does things with people?
Definitely.
Anything else?
Yes. So, did you not testify twice? Did you testify twice that on a regular basis, I'm more calm than this?
Yes.
So is that contrary to me being irate and irrational on a regular basis?
Well, I never said you were irate and rational. You're rational on a regular basis, but you do have a tendency to be.
You agree with that?
What'd you just say?
I said I can agree with that.
Well, once again, that's not a question, sir. Please follow the rules. Any question that is asked, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to instruct you again. It's not evidence. When they take the stand and under oath, that's what's evidence and any exhibits that are admitted. Please follow the rules. Thank you. Ask questions.
Do y'all have a policy that y'all go by? Yes. So within this policy, is sanitation one of?
What do you mean?
Do the officers have to make sure there's a clean environment for the inmates and the correctional officers also?
Yes.
So it would be a normal and simple for a person when a person asks, okay, can you just clean it? Right? I'm insecure about If an inmate just simply asks, can you just clean it? I'm insecure. Will it be against policy to just do it? Or
Wouldn't be against policy.
it'll be pretty much in the range of policy, right? Seeing that if you have to keep the sanitized areas at all times.
It wouldn't be against policy.
No further question. Let's do it.
Anything else?
When you got down to cell one, if you'd gone in there and y'all were bringing him in and it had been covered in feces and urine, would you have fought with him in cell one? Or would you have said, man, you're right back out and had it clean?
Definitely would have sent them out and had it clean.
But not any time while y'all were down there. Y'all were down in cell one for a good time down there. Weren't you? Y'all were kind of letting him calm down, catch his breath, right?
Yes.
So was there anything that you saw that was wrong with cell one?
No.
Absolutely.
One last question. While you were dealing with me in cell one, did you have time to look around?
I had time to look around.
You did. So in the middle of me being so combative, you had time to check and make sure it wasn't. You had time to check the walls and look on the floor. It was a pretty good range of time.
Again, like I stated earlier, when you first got in the cell, you were exhausted, but you still wouldn't let us take off your cuffs, and you were kind of not as combative at first, but not compliant at the same time. So yes, I had time to look around during that time.
Anything else?
No, Your Honor.
Is it stand excused?
Please, Judge.
You're excused, sir. Thank you. Next, please.
Harry Senegar. Thank you.
Please come forward, sir. Thank you. Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony that you are about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Please have a seat. Thank you.
State your name for the jury, please.
Very simple, June.
And where do you work now?
I'm not working. I work at Community Rogers. I'm not working at the county.
No, but where do you work now? You work at Mini Rogers?
Yes.
What's Mini Rogers for people that don't know?
Juvenile detention center.
Okay. And so did you back on June 6th of 2023 work as a correctional officer for the Jefferson County Adult Correctional Facility?
Yeah.
And how long did you work out there?
5.5 years.
Decided it was time for change. So back on June 6th, 2023, were you called to the solitary or isolated cell one, isolated cell 6 in the Jefferson County Correctional Facility?
Yes, sir.
What was the purpose of you being called there?
Inmate was having a little difficult situation. Was kind of irate. Didn't want to move cells.
Why did they call you in?
I was gone for the guy that I could relate to certain certain ones of the inmates.
Yeah.
De-escalate and try to calm situations down, to try to rectify maybe they see we can take another route, a more peaceful route.
So looking up here at the State Exhibit 1, is that you standing next to Lieutenant Ford? And did you actually go to this isolated cell number 6 and speak to Raymond Peoples?
Yes.
Were you able to de-escalate the situation?
I thought I calmed it down a little bit. We had a pretty good rapport. He and I, talk.
Okay.
Tell him like, hey, but just chill out, chill out. And making it worse.
Yeah.
So, but it will go up and down. You know, see what it feel like he was hurt.
Well, at one point, was the big deal that he didn't want to go down to the cell because he thought it was dirty? That's what he said. Was that really the reason, do you think?
It was, I mean, cleaned, they cleaned it, so I didn't clean it, but it was clean.
Okay. I mean, y'all ended up back down there later on, when you brought him down there. Was he clean when he got there? Okay. So he won't just comply, will it? No matter what's happening?
But he did.
Okay. And then what was the next step y'all had to do to try to get him out?
Good job.
Could you see when you were talking to him, did you see the bandages he had around his hands, the things wrapped around his hands getting?
Yes.
Did he mention anything about fighting to you?
He didn't tell me.
Okay. Did he mention anything about not trusting Ford?
Yes.
He had a personal thing against Ford, didn't
Yeah, I have. Love ignorance.
he? So after a little while, we see even Ford's trying to talk to him too, wasn't he? Yes.
Yes.
And Darby came to talk to him too, did he? And who else came to talk to him? Was it Javante?
Thank you, Steve.
Yeah. Okay. So it's Ford, you, Javante, and Darby. Darby. Y'all, the four of you tried, right? And it just didn't work, did it? You ever run into inmates that like to be in control? Just they have to be in control. Everything's about them and they're in control. Was that kind of the situation here? He had to be.
At that moment,
He wasn't gonna budge, was he?
I had him at first, but then something happened.
You don't know why he just snapped and went the other way? Okay. So here y'all go firing the pepper balls, everything, and then open the jail cell. What happens when you open the jail cell?
He came out like at Ford, at Lieutenant Ford.
Okay.
And,
Did he have that mattress up there against that
no,
door?
that the first time we had to do this twice.
Yeah.
First time we had to open the door and then shot the double ball down there.
Right.
And then his mat up, he had his mat covering.
Right.
And then to the cross.
Okay. And then the second time they opened it up.
That's what it's
Okay. Where were you in the altercation? Do you remember?
about. They would always put me in the front. I think I'm on the old side.
Let's see if we can get to that point and you kind of point yourself out. Let's get that. Okay, so is this you right here?
Yes.
Okay.
This was after the double ball spray.
Yes, this after the pepper ball spray, this is when he comes out of the mattress. So you're still back here, are you not? You're kind of back over there with Darby in front of you, aren't you? So did you see him flailing around with his hands or could you see?
Yes, I remember he told me, get out the way.
Who did?
I don't know.
Okay. Get out the way when he came out or when y'all were trying to get him down the ground? And what was he doing with his hands?
If I remember, it looked like he had something wrapped around his hands, like some pins.
Okay. What was he doing with those? Was he swinging them or was he just, were y'all trying to grab them? What were y'all doing?
You know, that's why I kind of stayed back because I saw it at first, and then once they got control, you know, we could actually try to tuck.
Okay. Okay. So you're kind of staying back while they're on top.
So as long as one person grabbing
Yep.
to try to restrain, can't all grab at the same time. So it's kind of like, it means you have to kind of see and wait for an opportunity going, so that everybody can be safe.
Did people kind of get in each other's way when they do this?
Yes.
And is that what was happening kind of?
Right.
And so his hands were free?
Right.
Okay. But you didn't see him stab anybody or do anything with the pins? Okay, but you're standing back on that side, am I correct?
Right.
Okay. Did y'all take him from there down to the other cell?
Yes.
And when you got down to the other cell, did you notice anything about that cell that was dirty, filthy, feces, urine everywhere where you couldn't live in? Y'all were down there for a little while he was catching his breath, weren't you?
Yeah.
And not one time did you say, you're right, we need to clean this up. I'll pass it. Oh, wait, you see Mr. Peoples in the courtroom today?
Yes.
Can you point to and describe something he's wearing?
Black shirt.
Record reflects he's identified the defendant.
Yes, it will.
I'll pass with it.
So you say you've been working with correctional for Jefferson County Correctional Facility for 5.5 years. That whole time you ran across me pretty often, right? When you first met me and you ran into me, I was in general population, right? And I was out there general population for quite a while before I ended up in the dorm, right? When you worked on the dorms with me, how was my attitude?
Real laid back and stuff.
If you was to check my track record, I don't know if you have, I know a lot of officers that have. Before my incident in indoor and whatnot, did I have a track record of write-ups and all that? Yeah. But did you hear about me much disrespecting officers and being irate in the dorm?
Not in the dorm.
Because do you agree that any person acting like this on the dorm would get sent straight to max, right? So
I can't remember why you got, but it was at least.
do you remember me telling you I got tired of the inmates going in my drawer, so I put myself back there?
Okay.
And as a matter of fact, you was there one time when I put myself back there when I wouldn't let nobody take my because they kept taking my paperwork and do you remember that time? And I refused to let anybody touch my property. I say, put me in indoor. That's where I want to go. Remember? And remember what isolation cell that I used to like going to? Remember, I'm like, man, put me in one. I used to tell, Sergeant Sam, man, put me in isolation 1. I like this cell. That's my favorite cell. But at this particular time, I ended up in isolation 6, correct? So there's no problem I have with isolation 1, right? But this particular day, you see me, and this ain't you. What's going on? When you talk me down, I was almost ready to. All right, man. Listen, well, I cuff up. Can you get him to go clean up? Man, look, I'm gonna talk to him. You cuff up, man. I'm like, all right. Next thing I know, he pull up at the thing. You remember that being my? You know what? No, he ready to fight. So you know what I'm saying? He just trying to hurt. You know what I'm saying? He ain't trying to clean up nothing. He just want to hurt. And then I flip.
Hold on.
Do you remember?
Hold on. You got to ask questions, not give a speech. You get a chance to testify later. Ask this in a question form. These are 7 lines long, this question. I'm looking at the transcript. It's 7 lines long. Rephrase it and be succinct. Go ahead, rephrase your question. Just don't, make it a speech. Just ask your question and he'll answer. That's the rule. That's the way it works, sir. Ask your question succinctly. Thank you.
So, excuse me, but do you remember any other times where you had to go pull the inmate out their cell and the lieutenant would grab the camera? Because at the time they didn't have the cameras on the chest. Now they do, well not. But at the time they was using the Hellhand camera, right? Certain time. So did you notice a routine that when y'all had to go pull the inmate out of the cell that was being irate, that they had grabbed a camera?
It wasn't a rule, it was up to the lieutenant's, the supervisor's discretion.
Okay. Do you remember you took those pictures of my isolation cell 6? Did you remember seeing Anderson? Because I remember Anderson taking pictures of me. Do you remember him taking pictures of the isolation cell? No. All right. So after y'all apprehended me and got me restrained of the floor and got me down to the cell, did you go in that cell at any point in the midst of them ISO 6? No, isolation 1 cell.
I believe I went in prior to that.
All right, yeah. So afterwards, right? How long after y'all got me in the chair can you say you all went to check that cell out to make sure it was, you know?
I believe it was checked before we went down.
You believe that because somebody told you, or
No,
because you checked it?
no, I didn't check it, but the trustee from,
Because you know that because somebody told you, or you told the
I
trustee
saw him come to sit.
that day?
I believe so.
So no further questions. Thank you.
Does he get to decide when he goes to isolation?
No,
He has to do something to get in isolation, then
correct,
like throw feasties on guards or something.
correct.
And if he agreed, he threw something on Lieutenant Ford before in October of 22 when he got put in isolation, that would be the reason he's in isolation.
Correct.
Oh, absolutely.
Mr. Smith, have you ever known me to play with my feces? Ever get into you other than hearing, other than somebody telling you have walked up,
I've never witnessed you.
right?
Yeah, I
Not
think you did.
Yeah, right. Well, from this question, yeah, everybody's right. But do you remember when Ricky Johnson squirted waste into myself? You wasn't there then? But other than you hearing about that one time, right? Did you hear about me ever squirting waste on anybody else or getting into a
Maybe I've heard it twice.
right. Yeah. No further questions.
It's right in your face. Can you state your name, please?
Thomas Darby.
And where do you work, Mr. Darby?
I'm a plant operator now. It
Really?
used to be correction. You know.
Okay, making money now, huh?
Yeah, making
All right. So back on June 6th of 2023, were you with the Jefferson County Correctional Facility?
Yes, so
What was your capacity there?
I was I was an officer. I was working in dorm max that day.
Okay. What is max dorm? What does that mean?
I was working Mary dorm, which is more of the protective custody, not the disciplinary side.
Okay,
In dorm was more of the disciplinary, also same thing.
okay. But when they say max, what do they mean max dorm?
Individual cells. It's not the open door open dorm like the medium and minimum security.
And people that are in the max dorms like that, can they be trustees?
Don't know now.
Back in.
Back then they were trying it out at one point, but at the time I don't remember.
Okay.
So long ago.
So was it mostly usually medium or lower that were
Yes.
trustees? Why were you called to an isolated cell number 6?
I was
What-
looking at the opposite thing. They wanted assistance on trying to de-escalate or move them cells.
Okay, move who?
Mr. Peoples.
You see him in the courtroom?
Yes.
Can you point to him, describe what he's wearing?
Black shirt.
Record reflect he's identified the defendant.
It will.
Had you dealt with Mr. Peoples before?
In passing, I never talked to him at length.
You had a good rapport with him?
Not a bad thing at all. So sure.
Oh, sure.
Yes.
All right, so really y'all didn't have much of a
No.
relationship. Were you, is that you up there in States Exhibit 1?
Yes.
And what were you doing up there?
I was talking, trying to de-escalate, trying to get him to cup up and move to ICO 1.
Was there a problem? Why was he not wanting to go?
I don't recall the issues.
Was he talking about a dirty cell down there in 1? Being where they are moving him to a dirty cell?
I don't remember that conversation. But his main thing was, if I recall correctly, he didn't want to move because Lieutenant Ford was telling him to move.
He had a thing with personal, before, didn't he?
Yes.
Okay. Well, is there a reason? Let me kind of run this video on States Exhibit 1. At some point, did you, in this video, walk down to isolation cell 1 and look in to make sure it was clean? Is that you walking down here?
Sure was. So I did look into it.
If it would have, and I know you're just operating under a couple of years and not being jailed, if it would have been dirty feces all over the wall and everything, what would you have done?
I would have had the trustee clean it. So, I mean, if it was dirty, I would have had him clean it.
And you don't do that, did you?
No.
Okay, so now you're there watching other people try to de-escalate, is that right?
Yes.
And what's going on while you're watching?
I did not honestly answer. It's been so long, but I'm sure I talked to him some more, told him it was clean. But overall, the conversation, I don't recall.
Okay. What happened next after y'all couldn't get him to come out?
Lieutenant Ford told us that we were going to move him, and I don't recall after that. It was more of a decision that we were going to extract them and move themselves.
So was there pepper balls
Yes.
firing first? Why is the pepper balls firing
He had
first?
the mattress up against the door, so we couldn't open the food port and cut him up through the food port.
Is the pepper balls trying to get him to comply?
Yes.
All right. Did that work?
No.
Now notice here you had the cuffs out like it was almost going to work. Or were you just hoping it would work?
I was hoping it was gonna work. I had the cuffs. I was telling him why don't we cup up so it doesn't go any further.
That didn't work either, did it?
No.
So then this happens. And you're the one opening the door, aren't you?
Yes.
So when you were involved in all this, did you see anything in Mr. Peoples' hands?
I did see the white cloth in there with the pins.
So he had white cloths on both hands,
Yes.
and he had what with the white cloth?
With the pins,
What kind of like ballpoint pens?
yes, blue, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. And the ballpoint pens, what was he doing with those? Could you tell?
At the time he did lunge, but my main goal was trying to restrain his hands. So that's where I was focusing, not so much on the pins, more controlling his arms and his hands.
That was kind of hard to do, wasn't it? Was there several of you?
There are a lot of people in the, just in the way, I guess.
So were y'all kind of causing each other not to be able to do what you needed to do? Okay. And during that time, did you ever see anybody get injured?
I was focused on hands and body.
Okay. Afterwards, did you notice anybody was in?
I do remember seeing Lieutenant Ford's face bloody. I'm not sure at what point that was.
Like States Exhibit 15? And was that right after the fight happened out there, or was it a little later?
I don't recall when I noticed.
Okay, but you did notice it.
Yes.
So were you part of the ones that went with them all the way down to the first cell?
Yes.
And while y'all were in there, did it break out again?
Yes.
But were you down there for a little while before it did?
Oh,
Or do you
I'm not
remember?
mistaken. I don't recall 100%.
Okay. While you were down there in that first cell, there's.
Yeah, we were down there for a minute.
Yeah. Notice any feces on the wall, urine anywhere? There's no?
No.
Okay, I just make sure she's got to type it down. So is this y'all walking down the hall towards cell number 1?
Yes, sir.
And where y'all going?
To ISO 1.
And did everybody go in there except Arliss Anderson?
I don't recall.
Who's that? Do you know if that's Lieutenant Ford and Arliss Anderson standing out in the hallway? You can't see that far back behind you? Can't tell?
Those look like Anderson and Ford.
Okay. But you were in that cell and nothing in there caused you any concern about whether Mr. Peoples needed to be moved because of some
No.
kind of bad? Okay. How fast would
Thomas, it's here. The day this situation took place, when you went down there to look into that isolation cell, what was your reason looking?
I remember talking with you, trying to calm me down, de-escalate. If I were to guess, it would be to go check on it for you to relay that it is clean.
When you came back, do you remember whether or not you told me?
I cannot recall, but I'm sure I did. I mean,
How often did you work max again?
I worked max for years.
Like, did they have you back there on a daily basis?
Yep.
So when there was always a situation with an inmate, 9 times out of 10, you would be amongst it, right?
Yeah, I would.
How many times did you have to have this type of combative? How many times you see me back there with this type of combative behavior?
I don't recall specifics. It's been a long time, but we would have occasionally incidents like this.
But with me,
I don't recall people. It's been years.
yeah. And look, from what you do recall, you barely had interaction with me.
I don't know.
No further question.
Nothing further, Judge?
Is this man excused?
Please, Judge.
And you are excused, sir. Thank you. Next, please.
Call Arliss Anderson. Thanks, sir.
Forward, please. And raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony that you are about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God.
Yes, sir.
Please have a seat. Thank you.
Let's keep that chair forward a little bit. Last person was a little farther away than we were. Can you state your name for the jury, please?
Sergeant Anderson.
Is it Arliss Anderson?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And where do you work?
Jefferson County Correctional Facility,
How long have you worked with them?
almost 30 years.
What do you do?
I supervise the inmates and officers that do ensure their safety.
What's your rank out there?
Sergeant.
Sergeant. back on June sixth of 2023, were you with the Jefferson County Correctional Facility?
Yes, sir, I was.
And in what capacity?
So I was acting as a sergeant, assisting on the action security.
Were you called to isolation cell, nor isolation 6?
I was delivering property, and that's not the other things having a problem with that, so.
Okay.
The inmate and such.
So nobody called you, just happened to be in the area?
Yes, sir.
All right, and when you got there, at what point did you get there?
Just as they was about to launch the pepper balls into the cell.
Have you ever seen pepper balls being launched into a cell before?
Yes, sir.
On fewer many occasions?
That's weird.
What's the purpose of launching the pepper balls?
Cause a reaction from the inmate to comply.
And do most of them comply after that?
Yes, sir.
Looking at State's Exhibit 1, is that you kind of leaning up against the bar there?
Yes, sir. Looks like it.
Now, at some point, did the pepper spray work?
Yes, sir. There's appeared to be.
No, I mean, did it work on the inmate? Did it make him comply?
No, sir, not at all.
So what was the next step that had to be done?
We were gonna have to go in and extract him.
Now, looking at everybody that's in this area right before the extraction, is this you up against the wall?
Yes, sir, it's topic.
And when this door opens, do you have any type of non-lethal weapon?
Yes, sir, I have a taser.
Okay, so you have a taser in your hand. What's the purpose of the taser?
This cause a reaction from the inmate to comply to the electrical shock. Something there,
Did you in fact use that taser?
not at that moment.
Did you use it later? Or do you recall?
I was about to, I had extracted it from the holster. And during that altercation, I yelled taser for everybody to clear out the way so I could pull it. But
Did nobody clear it out?
no, sir.
Okay. So when the individual, do you see the individual who came out of that cell here in the courtroom?
Yes, sir.
Can you point to and describe an article of clothing wearing?
Wearing black shirt and with
Record reflect he's identified the defendant.
Yes, it will.
So when the defendant came out of the cell, did you see anything in his hands at that point?
yes, sir. Yeah, two humans, one in each hand, strapped with cloth.
Did that concern you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Why would that concern you?
It was being used as a weapon to hurt us.
Was he saying anything? Do you remember him yelling anything or saying anything?
I remember he was going to kill you, Lieutenant Buller.
Now, did you just move the mattress out of the way?
Yes, sir.
Is this you right here leaning over Lieutenant Toad? Or is that
I think
Lieutenant Guard?
Sorry. Well, yes, that's me right.
That's you right there, leaning over Lieutenant Ford.
Yes, sir.
So while they're on the ground there, could you see the defendant?
Yes, sir.
What did he look like to you?
Enraged, angry.
When you saw him, was his face kind of like it is in State's Exhibit 8?
The eyes were wide open.
What did he have in his hands?
With two gray beans strapped around each wrist.
And while you're watching, what was he doing with those hands?
And again, clenched. Fine stab.
What did he do? What did he do? Show the jury what he did with those. And who did he stab anybody?
Lieutenant Buller
Where did he stab him at?
across the right eye.
So that scratch right there, did he also hit him in the body?
Yes, I think that might have been from his hands.
Okay, but you do remember him hitting the head and scratching down with the pin. Was he still flailing with the pins?
Yes,
Were people trying to get him under control?
yes, we were.
So was he saying anything then?
So I'm gonna kill you.
Was he who's he looking at when you're saying that?
Looked like he was looking at Lieutenant Ford.
Were y'all able to get him finally subdued and under control? After a while.
Yes, after a while, after a struggle, we're able to pull one hand, his left hand back. I was able to pull the pin fell out of his left hand. And this was pulling his right hand down, pulled it from his right hand.
So you got the 8 pins away from him out of his hands.
Yes, sir.
And you just chunk them aside? Or what'd you do with them?
I think I dropped him to the side away from him. And proceeded to handcuff him in front.
Is it policy at the jail to handcuff somebody in front or pick them at the back?
Well, he's being difficult and being very combative and resistance. So we're just trying to get his hands restrained. Normally, if he was just cooperating, coming out of the cell, would be in front of him. But when they're being combative, we normally try to restrain him behind him, but he was being such combativeness and violence. We're just trying to get him restrained.
Just give them cut.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then again, in the hallway, did he start up again?
Yes, yes, he did. At that point, I had a set of leg irons retrieved so we could restrain his feet and get a little more control of him.
So what are the leg irons we're talking about?
Leg irons, they strap around, they cuff around the ankles with about a foot of chain to give him some mobility, but limit the mobility.
So they can walk, but they can't run or do things.
Yes, run to more restrained.
So is that what y'all are doing now?
Yes, sir.
And then is he walked somewhere?
Have to lift him up. And as we do, he tries to lunge at Lieutenant Ford.
So when y'all get him down the hallway, where are y'all taking him to? Do you remember?
Isolation cell 1.
Did you go into isolation cell 1 with him?
Yes, sir.
So you and Ford are standing, is that y'all standing here at the edge?
Sort of see.
Let me see. Can you tell us if that's you down there?
Yes. That looks like me right there.
Okay. Y'all are looking in the cell, right?
Yes, sir.
Sergeant Ford's got his head in the cell, right?
Yes, sir.
And there were several other people that went in the cell with him, right?
So
Was there any feces all over the wall? Was there anything smeared around or was the cell clean?
most sort of cell was clean.
Was there another problem in that cell?
There's no problem with the cell.
No, I mean with the inmate in that cell.
Oh, yes, sir.
And what did y'all end up having to do?
We placed him down on the bunk, and I noticed he had a taser bar lodged in his uniform. I tried to retrieve it. The defendant tried to bite him.
Do you know how the taser bar got there?
Yes, from, I think it's from Lieutenant Ford Station.
Okay. So, but there wasn't anything in his skin, it was just in his uniform,
Just in some,
so he never actually got tased.
that's right.
So then what did y'all do with him after that?
Well, Lieutenant Ford had deemed him that he was still violent, so we decided we'll need restraint and a wrap for that period.
Okay, is that what y'all did?
So
In that situation that y'all had, do y'all have to do that somewhat frequently or just every now and then?
periodically, they're very combative.
Had you had prior dealings with Mr. Peoples before this?
Not until then,
Okay, this was the first time you had it.
not to my knowledge.
Okay, thank you. I'll pass it.
Mr. Ernest, so you say, when I came out the cell, I, with both hands, was that immediately or?
From my perspective, yes.
And as soon as I came out and I swung like this, one of the pins hit him or both of the pins hit him?
Things just one.
Just one. So, did you get a chance to see the whole part when I came out the cell and you were standing right there? Did you get a chance to watch? Yes. And as I was coming at that cell, you, on this video, you seen me swing with both hands.
I'm remembering from my recollection during that time.
Oh, but did that happen when you watched the video? Just
That's what we look for.
okay. So let me ask you a question. Did you know why I was being combative at the time?
No, I didn't know.
So when you went down, when y'all got me down to that cell, did you look in that cell, look around to make sure it was clean?
Once we got you behind the
Like, why did you look to make sure it was clean?
I didn't know. I just knew we were trying to get you down there at that time.
Right, so there would be no reason for you to look to make sure it was clean again, correct?
It's clean over.
So I've been back to this county in this county jail in isolation for about what, 12 months now? You think of when I'm right, am I right?
Something about that.
So when I first got back, did I seem disrespectful, irrational, or combative?
Not this time around, not so far.
You work doing M&N max security quite often, right?
Absolutely.
So on a regular basis, did you have to take me out? Like, okay, wrong question. Let me switch that up. So every day when I come out myself the day room, that's every other day, right? For 1 hour.
For one stopping,
So when I do come out to the day room, do you remember whether or not I'm able to use that phone?
no,
No. What had to happen for me to use the phone?
you know, about to book you to use the phone and also about to an office to use the phone.
You remember how often that had to happen? Do you know whether or not you are obligated to do that?
No, it's,
You didn't have to. So are you aware of the policy of Jefferson County Correctional Facility? Would you say it's true under section 7 of the policy, right? Article 7 of inmate access to telephone, right? They call it security phone, correct? It says on here, it says in the act, tell me if I'm correct or not. It says from 9 o'clock AM to
$900 hours to 2,200 hours. Inmates shall have access to the telephone, security telephone, from Sunday through Saturday. You remember that?
There is also a resolution can be revoked.
It can be revoked. How? You remember how?
So just remember that.
This feeling also. Under that article also, it said the inmate shall limit his phone calls to 15 minutes. Do you remember that part? No. So if you have to go through a disciplinary process, right? Do that mean I'm obligated to use the phone unless I'm being combative or irrational or, out of control or something like that?
I think we both, if you've been those, yes.
Right. But what if I'm not? Are you able to revoke it then?
When I was taking down, it was pretty. But she lost it, as long as she's playing. Phone and baby, it's not working.
Right. Do you remember how long that was? Let's see. If I give you an estimation about 4 or 5 months, does that seem about right? So if there's a telephone in the day room for the inmates, shouldn't the inmates be able to have access to that telephone when you come out to the day?
Judge, I'm trying to see the relevance of this. I'll let him go a little while, but I'm objecting.
But you were-
I don't see the relevance.
Aren't you accused of the first degree felony of aggravated assault against a public servant?
Right.
Well, let's get off the phone. Let's get on what the issue is all about, sir, and that's whether you committed aggravated assault. Thank you. Please stay on the ball. Thank you.
So the fact that the jail was blocking my access to the telephone, would you consider that retaliation to make me submit to signing or signing for some time for this charge right now?
I don't know if they would go off on the phone. I necessarily don't think it's retaliation.
No,
No, they probably told me not to let you use the phone.
they weren't blocking my phone. Why would you have them take me to booking?
I don't know, you said you could not make phone calls.
Why couldn't I make phone calls? Don't I supposed to be able to?
If you allow them disciplinary action, you were being cooperative.
But I couldn't, right?
And I don't know, that's what I told everybody else, but for the happens, there's nothing obstructing your phone calls.
And you check on
Yeah, I did check on.
it. The fact that you were the only, look, okay, would you believe that Lieutenant Ford said something different about his injury?
No,
Would you believe that he said the same thing you said?
nothing, no.
Would it be a reason that he would say that his injury came from my fingernail? No. You think he might have not seen what happened?
I don't know what he was thinking. I don't know what he stated. I just observed what I see.
No further questions.
Mr. People said he came back in 2023. Is he gone for a while?
Yes, sir. He came back last year.
Where'd he go?
TDC, Texas Department of Corrections.
Went to prison, right?
Yes, sir.
And we brought him back to do this from, all right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll pass it.
All right. You're excused. Thank
Wait,
you.
one last.
Well, come on.
When they brought me back, do you remember me having my paperwork with me? Like, you remember when you got me from bookend? Because when I got back to the jail, you was the very first person I seen. You remember that? No.
Anything else?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, you are excused, sir. Thank you. Next, please.
Neville Keeker. Thank you.
Report, sir. Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony that you are about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? I do. And please have a seat. Thank you.
State your name for the record, please.
Lieutenant Bell Tinker,
Lieutenant, where do you work?
Jefferson County
I
Correctional.
know it's kind of obvious, isn't it? How long have you worked for them?
Since 2013.
And what do you do for them?
I'm a lieutenant at jail. I supervise officers and inmates to make sure the inmates are doing what they're supposed to do, and officers are making sure that the inmates are alive, well, and, as far as the safety.
You know an inmate by the name of Raymond Peoples.
So,
You see him in the courtroom today.
yes, this is one day I'm in black shirt.
Record reflects he's identified the defendant.
Yes, it will.
How do you know Raymond Peoples?
And dealing with him at the jail, such as
Given he was what time?
his right time that he's supposed to receive, and his day on times, and other odd dealings with him.
What other odd dealings? What other odd dealings?
His issues as far as him having issues or problems with how we're doing things in the jail, it's not his satisfaction.
So he has his opinion about how y'all should do your job.
Yes, sir. And
And do y'all find that he's always trying to tell you how to do your job?
typically,
Well, back on April, I believe April 4th, somewhere in 2026, 14th, sorry, got one digit off.
yes,
April 14th of 2026, did you have a dealing with Mr. Peoples?
yes, sir, I did.
And what was the situation? Where was this at?
It was in the day room area that they have for isolation, so
Okay, and was there a problem or an issue that you were having with Mr. Peoples?
the issue is, he accused me of a week or so prior of denying him food. So he asked me that day if I was going to give him the tray. I told him I was not, because I did not deny him. And he laid on the floor as to not comply with going back to his cell.
So what happens when, is that kind of like a little child?
Yes, sir, it was.
So he's laying on the floor. What are you going to do to try to get him up?
He wanted me to put him in the restraint chair. I made the decision at that time, no, I'm not going to put you in the restraint chair. I'm going to put you to the cell, which is,
Did he become angry?
yes, we had to actually physically pick him up and walk him to the cell, which he did not comply. He grabbed the bars and things such that, irate and upset.
Was he saying anything to you?
He said multiple things, actually. He was mad. He made multiple comments about how my supervisor has me doing things that I'm not supposed to do, or they're making me do things to him. He also made a comment such as I'm gonna kill this, referring to me. And he also said, I stabbed those white boys, referring to, he said Morgan's name specifically, he said Anderson's name specifically. You don't think I was stabbing?
So he admitted to stabbing officers.
Yes, sir.
And did he say, I'll get away with it?
He said, I haven't.
Said, I have and will get away with it.
Yes, and I actually have my body.
Okay. So when he said this to you, did you take that as a threat to you?
Yes, sir. I did.
Was he saying it nicely? Was he saying it angrily? How was he saying it?
Oh, no, he was very irate. He come back.
I mean, when we see him in the courtroom today, he's kind of calm and docile, isn't he?
Yes, sir.
Can he be that way
Yes, he can.
when he gets his way?
Yes, he can.
What is he? Look at State's Exhibit number 8. Is that what he looks when he doesn't get his way? Now, he didn't actually stab her or do anything to you, did he?
No, sir, he wasn't able to. We actually had to hold her and we ended up getting him to his cell, getting unrestrained. And it's-
Okay. Ever had other dealings with him since then?
Not necessarily, he'll say things like that, but as far as physical, getting physical with him, anything like that, was.
I'll pass with you.
Attention. Do you remember my contentions about that day on why I wanted you to give me that tray? Like, you remember what my reason was?
Yes, your reason was that you said that I denied you a training, which I did not do.
So, do you remember me telling you that I was allergic to onions?
We had discussed it earlier that week that you were allergic to onions. And you said that you had received a tray that had onions in it. And that an officer called me and told me that you had a tray with onions in it. I told you I did not receive that phone call. And you said that officer told you that she called me. And that's not the case, she did not call me. I also told you that per policy, if you tell me that you have a tray that has onions on it, and you're allergic to it, I will go to the front, go to the kitchen and get you a tray that does not have onions.
Do you remember that day that I still had that tray from the day before?
That was not the day before.
When was it?
I don't know when you received the tray. I don't know when you received the tray.
It was the day before.
I don't know that.
Hold
Okay,
on.
sorry.
You can
Okay.
testify later.
All right,
You
you're
ask
right.
him a question.
Sorry.
Thank you.
So, you don't know when you say, but you say it wasn't the day before, but you don't know, right?
Mhm. Yes.
Okay, so when I opened that tray and showed you the onions in it, and that I didn't get to eat, did you accommodate me by giving me the tray that I didn't receive?
Not at that time, no, I did not.
But you do remember me opening the tray and showing you the onions, right?
Yes.
So you just testified correctly. Correct me if I'm wrong. Did you not just testify that if I did have a tray with onions on it, that you would have to?
That I knew of. I
But
did
you-
not know. I was not the person that you got that tray from. I did not know that. I never received a call about that. As far as I know, that tray could have been from a week ago.
Do you remember me telling you the officer that brought me the tray? And her telling me that she told you that I didn't eat?
I told you, she said that she said that you said that she told you she called me. I tell you, I never received a phone call.
With you being a supervisor, would that be your responsibility to check?
Check what?
To check to see if my allegations is true,
What allegation?
that I didn't get to eat the day before, and my witness was a CO.
I asked her, she said that she never told you that she called me.
Is it true at the time you told me that you didn't know nothing about it?
I didn't until you told me.
But if you didn't know about it until I told you, when did you ask her?
I asked her the following day after we had the discussion.
So by me bringing it to your attention at that time, is it your responsibility, which you've been the supervisor, to check at that time
To check what?
to see if my allegations were true,
What allegation?
that I didn't get to eat? And the officer told me that the kitchen wouldn't bring me my diet tray.
That was never discussed with me before.
It wasn't discussed with me and you.
The only thing you and I discussed was the fact that you said that you received the tray with onions on it. And that the officer had called me. And I said, no, I never received a call. If I had received a call about you having a tray with onions, on it, I would have went to the kitchen and got you another tray. That's the only thing we discussed.
Well, let me ask you this, if I told you that I didn't get to eat, wouldn't that rectify the fact that the kitchen wouldn't bring me the tray that I was supposed to have?
Just because you told me you didn't eat, does not mean that you didn't eat.
So why didn't you check to see if that allegation was true?
Check one allegation.
The fact that I didn't get to eat.
Who am I supposed to check it with, the officer or you?
The officer,
The officer told me that she not called me about a tray, but that she gave you a tray.
you said you checked the next day, right? I'm talking about the day that I was acting combative. Why didn't you check to see if my allegations were true?
That was a week later.
The day that I was being combative?
Yes. We had been going back and forth about this tray for a week before that. You don't remember?
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
Well, sir,
He
again,
just
you're
asked
making
me
a
a
statement,
question. You
you
just
asked,
asked me a question.
Sir,
so I just had to
well, you don't-
answer it.
if, anytime you want to take a stand under oath, you have that opportunity, but if he answers a question in the form of answers in the form of a question, you don't answer him back. You're supposed to ask the questions. There's nothing funny about this. This is deadly serious, sir. I know you find this
It's very
humorous, but follow the rules. Everyone at that point has to follow the rules. Sir, ask questions. Don't give him answers and argue with him. Ask your next question.
Right. So, do you remember as we was going in that cell, right? And you said I was being combative and I threatened to, and I admit that I stabbed the other two animals. Do you remember whether or not you brought me that tray at that day?
I did bring you a tray at the end because I was tired of dealing with the situation, but it's not that I did not give you a tray on the day that you said I did not give you a tray. I was actually rectifying the situation to just get rid of it.
I noticed. Let me ask you this. I know that you told the Mr. Laird that your body cam was on the day.
Yes, it was.
Did you happen to have it with you? Though?
My body camera?
Yeah, I know the footage.
I don't have it, but that was from jail before.
So on that body cam, what I'm gonna say, on that body cam, are you sure of my admission to me stabbing another officer?
Yes, you said that.
Okay. My other question. Do you remember a situation dealing with my stamps? The situation, the same kind of situation, right? Where I lay down on the ground and I gave you a issue, the same kind of issue. You remember that? So that day, when I gave you that issue, right? Do you remember what that issue was about specifically dealing with the staff? Do you remember how that transpired? Yeah. That you part. Do you remember that you had to swap out some items at commissary to bring me my stamps because the commissary worker purposely skipped my stamps so that I wouldn't be able to send off my meal? Do you remember?
I didn't do it.
You didn't do that?
No.
So that wouldn't be on your body cam that you had to swap out my food because of a purposeful act, a purposeful wrongful act on your CO's behalf in concert, you don't think that'd be on the, you don't think that would be on the body cam?
That would not be on body.
So that day we was having the issue, what was it about?
What issue?
Where I refused to leave the brickyard and I laid on the ground.
Or the stand.
Just say, Mr. Peoples, help the jury out. We're talking about the indictment, which says on or about June 6th, 2023, that we're talking about this event. Help the jury in what period of time you're talking about with these questions, because we don't know what date it is. Help us out. Ask the question, please, so the jury can understand. Thank you.
July. May 5th, 2026. I was telling you, I need my stamps so I can send off my petition to the Supreme Court, or I would be barred. You remember that?
Yes, I don't know what to do.
And you said that you was too busy and that's why you didn't do it, all right?
First of all, yeah, I told you at that time I was busy, but you also said that you had spoke with Sergeant White and Sergeant Wright was supposed to. You know what you don't.
Sergeant Wright, I told you, let me refresh your memory. Do you remember me telling you Sergeant Wright supposed to told you to do it for Dave because he worked on the evening? So he's supposed to pass the message along to you.
And I never got it.
So you didn't tell me that morning that Sergeant Wright told you that morning?
Let me try. Yes, he did tell me, he did say something to me about that, and I did tell you at the time, yes, I was busy because I have other inmates and other things to deal with, other than just you have one.
So would it have been easy for you to rectify the situation by just you ordering another CO to go and handle the business so that I wouldn't get barred in the Supreme Court?
And last Delhi's review, I would have felt it would have been better for me to do it myself so that I know that it's done, rather than for you to say that somebody else did it or I didn't have somebody else to do it.
Judge, I'm gonna object again. We're getting far away.
Sustained.
from this.
You're asking about something 3 years after.
Okay, let's
Sir.
say one.
Sir, when I speak, please, I know you've got a habit of speaking over everybody. Just, you have a fair opportunity to be heard. When the court speaks, you can only take one person at a time, and the Court of Criminal Appeals says she's got to do her job or else somebody gets in trouble. Look, you're asking about something that happened a month or two ago. Again, remember the four corners of this indictment are alleging an event on or about June 6, 2023, 3 years ago. But stay on the focus of what is at issue, what's relevant. It's the allegation in this indictment on or about that date of aggravated assault. Please stay focused on that issue. Thank you. Ask your next question.
Can I tell my rebuttal? So the DA.
No, I've made the order. You have a chance to be heard later. Okay, outside the presence of the jury.
Okay.
You ask your next question.
Well, character-wise, every time we had an issue with each other, it would be a serious issue, correct?
No,
How many issues have we had with each other?
I don't count, I can't tell you, sure.
Do you recollect earlier telling the DA, Mr. Laird, that it hasn't been me?
No, so that's.
You never say that to me? No further questions. Oh, no, I'm lying.
Go ahead.
Oh. Is it? Oh. Oh. Yeah, he's not the right person. Never mind.
All right. Is this an excuse or? do you
Yes,
have-
please, Judge.
All right, you are excused, sir. Let's take another short break, ladies and gentlemen. Refresh and keep the blood moving. We'll see you back in.
That's why I want. That's all I want. But you don't find out what image you're doing. You don't find out what image you're doing. I promise you, you'll take it out. That's how they operate. That's how they operate. Let me just take off until they not take them once and they keep that they do. But I want to just like I was up there, more of a bitch head. Come on, people. People walk up to break the white sheet, yeah.
What did you just say?
Just like I tried to stab Morgan and Ford and all them other ones. Like,
I can't believe it. What made you think I want to smoke it? What made you think I want? Just like I do with them, I can't make up things. What's wrong with you? Yes, and you don't get it, and guess what? Guess what? Do this shit. I know how to do this shit.
We don't need all about that already. Always.
And I know, that's the reason why we're racist. That's it. They don't put a pressure on them, these others don't get. They like, just looking at them chip. We spending money, and all that. I'm about ready to kill this people. 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 Bro, I don't say this. I don't say this. All the food. When you leave, we take this shit to the side. Are we taking this shit to the side? Now, to rest and you go fuck shit. And think I'm about to lay down and keep taking that shit. Why you riding your bitch ass race screen? You gonna give me my motherfucking food like you die. Or we gonna take this shit to my food. All these bitch ass niggas beating off in the basement. A song off in the and you wanna sit out here and you for me. That bitch ain't wanna put you on me. Like I'm not. Hey, they all. John, the things are back. Hey, Sammy had soon as I walk in there, I'm giving up. Soon as I come in there, I'm let y'all show you. You hear me? When I put myself in the suit that I watch, soon as I walk in there, I'm let y'all strength me. I know, I'm
You don't miss it everything. Yeah. What annoying friends of mine. Mayor, take it all of them on your line, you straight people. I never denied the trade people. I don't know why you're saying I denied the trade. There's no real going on. And the cell.
He got me to know. Tell him today. He doesn't keep it here, but I'm getting up to bed. Tell him come here. Tell him come here. Come on, man. Come on. I'm say I ain't working for you. You can make it. Come on. Come on, man. Yeah, I'm trying. I'm trying to see. They have no reason. They fucking my food. They fucking my concept already. You know what I'm saying? They fucking my phone. And you remember that? I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the fact that I had to check in here. I had to come back in here to work. I had to wait till I come. Why? No, ain't no malfunction. I'm pretty sure you really asked them on that question like you did. And what they did? No malfunction. That's what they did. Exactly. Go back to why the other down the malfunction? Why didn't they come with it like that? Everybody go back there. Every isolate is a primary isolate. Exactly. So I basically my keep popping off on the fucking primary isolate. They don't get it. Everybody see out in front of yesterday. Everybody see out in front of That's what happened to it was like, I'm sorry, because I don't want to stop fucking with this shit. And then you know what happened to it, you want to go, and that bitch, I'm not worried. I've been fighting for the past 10 years. I'm not going to go. I'm doing this shit. That's why I used to train in MMA for me. When I was young, I do this shit. I hope so. I hope I'm in my church place. You pull up, we walk the track out the night, this shit over. Yeah. You pull up, we just put on the track that I'm telling you right now. Open up the track that I'm telling you. This shit over. It's submitted. Yes. Yeah, it's over. Don't take part in it. But all this. The man motherfuckers, all the shit down there, all the shit down there, if you want to get this challenge, if you want to learn this shit, I will make sure I bring everything in. Because I'm make sure I'm doing all the shit I've been doing for you. Because if you want to work with me, I promise you, I know it's real. I know it's real. If you want to work with me, I stupid shit. I know it's real. Trade don't work with me, I stupid shit. You are going to tell the words and trade. Listen. What's up? You gotta understand this. First and foremost, like I told you yesterday, I did not got 9 years old. That woman never talked to me. Well, tell her to look. I ain't gonna tell her nothing. I'm telling you that I'm telling you that because you always lying. I'm not lying to you. I haven't given you this to stop. I haven't given you what you want. I'm not lying to you. You told me that you can't find it. That's fine. You gonna tell me what my business? What I told you was, that what I've always said was this. I have to answer to you. I've asked him, he did not give me an answer. If I told you I asked him, you don't say, well, they say, and I say, you don't give me an answer. You don't say, well, what's that? I know exactly what you're talking about. I was giving NISO 6. You were NISO 6, and I told you just what I told you. It's not every forgive me.
You know, as far as this trade situation, I never denied you nothing. If you were an onion diet and they were trying to give you an onion tray, then I would not deny you a tray.
Well, if you did, then I mean, it was on your watch.
What?
You got it on your watch.
You can't blame me for something that I think I do.
That's what you do.
Okay. Okay. You get the cuffs back. You let us do what we got to do. All you have to do is understand that.
I will give you back. Give me the training.
No, that's not how it goes.
Okay.
Well, you give us our cuffs back, and I give you a drink.
You're in trouble.
I'm not putting you in the chair.
Okay,
I'm putting you in the chair. Like he said. Like he said. Not like he said. Like he said. If you give him the cuffs back, you get a drink. If you give him the cuffs back, you give him the cuffs back, he'll get a drink. I heard him tell you that.
What is it? What is it? Trade.
Yeah, I want
to get your shit, man. Shit.
I just told you.
I spoke to them. I did that too. I didn't come to that, and I'm not sure too. I didn't do that, I did not ready.
Take your shit, man. Let's see. Oh.
Just like the way we understand condition.
I just told you, I just told you, give up them cups and you'll get your training. I ain't got no reason to lie to you, like I told you before. I don't give a fuck about you like that, bro. I don't. I have no reason to fuck over you. You are not that important for me to fuck over you like that. You're really not.
People get that out, I should die.
Okay.
If the biggest thing from my life to die.
Okay.
Man, I should die.
Okay.
I should die.
Okay. Okay.
Boy, hold the phone. That's all.
So I'm a fuck nigga, but I'm trying to work with you to get your trade. I'm a fuck nigga, but I'm working with you to get your trade.
Don't breathe that.
She got it.
Why they put that out?
You good? Oh, okay.
Mary Piggy, give me another no money. Nah, I just called for your trade, Mr. Piggy. You heard me? Okay. Well, all right, look here, I tell you what, when you get your tray, I need a pocket. All right? Yeah. Bringing people's goofy.
Yeah, don't let that motherfucker bring you into the psychotic.
No,
That's right, man. Not letting that motherfucker with this wife trying to get this goddamn man.
So this tray you were giving him, was that making up for the tray that he had lost, or are you just giving him his tray for lunch that day?
the first one that they gave him was the one that whenever they were struggling with him, they messed it up, whatever reason. After they stepped on it. So I was giving him that tray for that. The second tray that I called for was just to rectify the situation and just get it all over. It was not because I denied him a tray. It was just to make him feel better about the whole situation.
Okay, so he threw that big fit over a tray that happened a week ago. before this?
It was like that Tuesday, like I said, he said it happened on Tuesday, but this was Sunday that we had this situation.
So it's been a few days. And you don't give inmates meals to replace meals from days ago, do
No,
you? Absolutely.
Do you want to ask any questions?
Okay, true. Is it true that the first incident, eh, the first incident was Thursday, 2 days after I informed you, after the incident, you had put me in a chair, remember?
I don't work Thursdays.
Well, okay, well, it must have been Friday. Remember?
I don't work Fridays.
Okay, then it must have been Wednesday. You don't remember putting me in the chair the first time
I do remember being right. I just don't remember what the situation was.
about the food, the same situation? Because that means it was the day before, right?
Okay.
And the next day, I told you, I showed you, and then you had put me in the chair because you didn't want to give it to me. And you remember that?
Yes, I thought, because
All right. And then that's why.
Hold on, he gets a chance to complete his answer.
Oh, okay.
Don't cut him off. Go ahead, sir.
yes, because I had told you that I did not refuse your tray, and I never received a phone call
All right.
from Ms. Banks. You said Ms. Banks told you that she called, right?
Right.
And I said, no, she did not. I never received a call. And you said, I don't. And I said, okay, Mr. Peters, but I'm not giving you a tray.
And that was the first day after, and then you had put me in the chair, right? And then this was the second. All right. Is it true that all I was trying to get you to do was to rectify the situation so it would stop happening because I kept getting denied my food?
You kept blaming everybody for messing with your trays and all that, but I told you, I'm not giving you a tray, like I said just then, on the video. I'm not giving you a tray on the Sunday or a tray that you not received Tuesday, or you say that I denied you Tuesday.
No further questions.
I don't know.
All right, is this man excused?
Please.